Over the decades, premium travel has become a lot more exciting thanks to various new products offered by airlines around the world. Larger aircraft and advances in materials technology has allowed airlines to get more creative with what they offer their highest-paying passengers. These creative cabins help airlines to stand out from the competition, which is always fierce. Today, we examine some of the most creative and interesting premium cabin seating options available for travelers to experience. Our extremely short list is by no means exhaustive. There are a lot of airlines out there, and many of them offer some great business and first-class experiences. However, today's list will cover just a handful of premium seats and suites that really stand out from most other carriers. On that same note, we will mainly be looking at seats and suites where passengers will spend most of their time. Thus, we won't be examining common areas and social spaces as much, which have become more prevalent on board long-haul aircraft these days. By the way, our apologies in advance for saying the word suites so much. So let's get started with products offered by Dubai-based behemoth Emirates. The first-class suites found on board the Boeing 777s and Airbus A380s operated by Emirates are some of the most luxurious and comfortable spaces you'll find anywhere in the world. First-class suites on both aircraft types have doors for complete privacy, with the obligatory lie-flat seat. While the A380's first-class doors and walls don't quite reach the ceiling, they come close. However, in 2018, Emirates unveiled its game-changer first-class suites on its 777s. These suites do have floor-to-ceiling doors for complete privacy. What's more, these suites are fitted with NASA-inspired zero-gravity seats. Emirates says the zero-gravity setting of these seats allows passengers to find the body's natural resting position and removes pressure from the elbows, back and neck to achieve maximum comfort. While both the first-class suites in the A380 and 777 come with luxury amenity kits, gourmet dining, premium noise-cancelling headphones and a high-quality large-screen in-flight entertainment system, the two products diverge on two different points. On one hand, you have the Airbus A380's shower spa. This section of the Super Jumbo has a full-size shower facility that allows first-class passengers to shower once during their flight. Each passenger is allocated 5 minutes of running water, but is also able to spend a total of 30 minutes in the facility, which comes complete with heated floors. While the shower facility is shared among other first-class passengers, it's private in the sense that your allocated time is all yours. Moving away from the A380, the passengers allocated middle suites on Emirates' newer Boeing 777 Gamechanger First Class will get to experience the airline's virtual windows. These are screens that have HD projections of the outside world, a way to compensate for a lack of a real window. While most would choose the A380 and have access to a shower rather than a seat with a virtual window, it's certainly something that's unique among airlines. Would you prefer to have a floor-to-ceiling enclosed suite on the 777 with a virtual window, or an A380 suite without this feature but access to the shower spa? Moving on, we have the new A380 First Class suite offered by Singapore Airlines. Unveiled in 2017, Singapore Airlines' new A380 First Class suites have quite an interesting setup. On their own, each suite is furnished with a full flat bed and separate leather chair. This separate chair is reclinable to 45 degrees and freely swivels. An Airbus press statement noted that this enabled customers to, quote, lounge comfortably in the chair or rest in bed without the need to convert the bed from a sitting position. On top of the spacious seating for each individual suite, the A380's first two suites of each aisle can be converted into a double cabin. This is a fantastic option if you're traveling with a significant other and want to spend your entire flight together. To achieve this, the wall between two first-class suites is removed. With each bed positioned up against the removable wall, the absence of a barrier essentially turns two small and separate beds into one larger bed. In terms of privacy, the sliding doors of the suite aren't completely floor-to-ceiling, but go up quite high nonetheless. Luxury amenities, Noise-cancelling headphones and gourmet meals are of course also part of Singapore Airlines' first-class experience. No showers though, unfortunately. Obviously, flying in these types of cabins will require a decent amount of money. We're no investment gurus, but we all know trying to make our money work for us is a necessity in today's economy. But even the companies that shaped our daily lives are losing trillions of dollars in market cap. As a result, investors are moving towards real assets whose value is less likely to fluctuate when stocks do. In fact, the ultra-rich have nearly doubled their spending this year on one real asset in particular: fine art. It sounds odd, but it's just supply and demand. They aren't exactly making any more Picassos, but the demand has remained steady for decades. In fact, contemporary art has shown price appreciation over 13% when inflation is at its current levels. According to the MW All Art Index, when compared to the S&P, the index of the top 500 companies on the stock market, contemporary art has historically outpaced it by 131% over the last 26 years. I had no idea art could be such a financial asset, but it's why we're excited to be partnering with Masterworks. This platform qualifies their paintings with the SEC, turning legendary art into an investment for a fraction of the full price. Masterworks has had a total of 9 exits, with 5 of them this year alone. And their last 3 exits delivered 13.9%, 17.8%, and 21.5% net returns. And with these results, demand is growing, so there is a wait list. But you can skip it just by clicking the link in the description. Next up is the Q Suite offered by Qatar Airways, but more specifically, the Q Suite's quad configuration. While a first class does exist with Qatar Airways, many reviewers out on the internet have noted that they prefer the airline's newer business class offering more. Indeed, the carrier's older first class product only exists on its Airbus A380s, an aircraft type that was absent for much of the pandemic. At the moment, 8 of the airline's A380s are flying, reactivated in late 2021 and 2022 due to the need for more capacity. But going back to the Q Suite, these are Qatar Airways' newer business class level offering, which was unveiled in 2017 and was intended to, quote, reshape expectations for global business travelers. This product lives up to its name and offers suites complete with a sliding door. Privacy exists to a certain extent, but these doors only go up to about shoulder height for an average person standing upright. But the special thing about Q Suites is its quad configuration, which is a private space that is fully adaptable to passengers and their companions. Indeed, while Singapore Airlines A380 suites might be ideal for couples, the Qatar Airways Q Suite and its quad configuration seems like a great way for family, friends or business colleagues to travel together. The Q Suite's movable panels allow passengers to transform their space into a private social area, allowing a small group to work, dine or socialize at 40,000 feet. Passengers going for this setup will have to contact the airline to confirm all 4 suites at once, and it's important to know that all 4 passengers will be giving up access to a window seat, as the quad layout only works with the center suites. While we highlight the uniqueness of the Q Suite quad configuration, it's also worth noting that couples traveling together can remove the barrier between 2 suites as well. It's a similar concept to the Singapore Airlines first class suites, but on a much smaller scale. Well, now that we've looked at some of the most luxurious offerings available, Virgin Atlantic's new Airbus A330-900 Retreat Suite seems a little less unique. Nonetheless, it's hailed by the airline as a quote-unquote brand new innovation in its upper-class offering. Consisting of 2 exclusive suites at the front of the cabin, the Retreat Suite is Virgin Atlantic's most spacious suite yet, comprising a 6-foot 7-inch or 200cm direct seat to fully flat bed and a 27-inch or 69cm touchscreen with Bluetooth connectivity and wireless charging. What makes the retreat suite a little more special is that each main seat comes with an ottoman that doubles up as an extra seat. Removing the center divider, this allows as many as 4 people to dine, chat or play games in their own private social space. It's a little less comfortable than putting 4 Qatar Airways Q suites together, but it's essentially the same concept. Let's begin to finish off this video with a few products that aren't yet available. The 2 we have in mind come from Lufthansa and Qantas, more specifically Lufthansa's Allegris First Class Suite and Qantas's Airbus A350-1000 First Class Suite. Lufthansa's upcoming Allegris First Class will see spacious suites with nearly ceiling-high walls and closing doors. Complete with a large personal wardrobe, each suite has a nearly 1 meter wide seat that can be converted into a large, comfortable bed. In these private suites, dining together is a possibility with the setup of a large dining table. Passengers can then invite a fellow traveller to join them. Meanwhile, for travellers headed to or from Down Under, Qantas's future Airbus A350-1000s are set to each have 6 first-class suites. Like the Singapore Airlines product we covered, the Qantas first-class suites will all have a seat and a separate bed. The suites offer a good amount of privacy with fairly high doors and walls, although they won't be floor-to-ceiling like Emirates' 777. And finally, let's end the video with a last-minute update: the Residence by Etihad. While Etihad's Airbus A380s have been inactive for nearly 3 years, the Middle Eastern carrier is set to bring back some of its super jumbos for the summer 2023 travel season. The airline's A380s offered and will again offer something unique and special known as the Residence. This product went above and beyond a first-class product and was essentially a small apartment in the sky. An Etihad A380 Residence had 3 separate rooms: a main living room for upright sitting and watching in-flight entertainment, a bedroom with double bed, and a private lavatory complete with dedicated shower. All of this came with a private dedicated butler, which the airline highlighted would have been trained by the Savoy Hotel in London. As part of an article by Future Travel Experience, the Savoy's Sean Davaran stated, "The Etihad Airways trainees have been an absolute joy to work with, and they all now possess the skills required to provide the highest standard of hospitality for the airline's premium guests by blending the discretion of a traditional English butler with the efficiency of a 21st century personal assistant." We were originally going to mention that Etihad is no longer operating the A380. Earlier in 2022, the airline had told Simple Flying that it was continuing to review the type's viability on a regular basis. Finally, in December 2023, the airline announced that it would bring back some of these jets to serve its busy Abu Dhabi-London Heathrow route. Looking at some of the most exclusive and high-end products available in the skies, it would appear that airlines are trending towards private social spaces that allow groups of passengers to gather together in relatively closed-off spaces. At the same time, with the A380's eventual decline, we would have to imagine that onboard showers will disappear with the Super Jumbo and are unlikely to appear on any other aircraft type. But for most of us who tend to travel closer to the back of the plane, this is probably not a huge loss. But if you had the means to choose one of these offerings, which of the products mentioned today would you prefer to experience? Which of these airlines would you say offers the best service? Let us know your opinions and experiences by leaving a comment. Simple Flying publishes over 150 articles every week. If you're looking for the latest aviation news and insights, visit simpleflying.com.